the Mystics were moving the 2 games that were coming to their town with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. They were moving them to Baltimore. I'm just going to point it out for all of you. This is Angel Reese's home stomping grounds, by the way. So moving to Baltimore.
You thought the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry was all about basketball? Think again. It's now spilling over into entire cities. The Washington Mystics just pulled off a clever move by shifting their home games against Clark's Indiana Fever to Angel Reese's hometown, Baltimore, Maryland. While we know this is likely a money-making move for the Mystics, Reese's fans are going wild. The real question is, why didn't they just keep the game at the Capital One Arena in Washington like last year? Or is this setting Reese up for some serious hometown drama? Either way, it's about to get intense in the WNBA, and honestly, we're here for all of it. Are you ready? Let's go.
They're going to say, see ya there, see ya there. Now, the Indiana Fever stated, venue change. Our regular season game on May the 28th, on September 7th at the Washington Mystics are moving to CFG Arena in Baltimore, bruh. So as y'all can see here, say game location change, CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland, CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. Somebody said, could it be the Mystic owner doesn't want the Caitlin Clark shine to be seen again?
Angel Reese's fans are freaking out, and honestly, it's hard not to laugh. Caitlin Clark is about to take over Reese's turf, not once, but twice this season, and the reactions from Reese's supporters are priceless. This is the Caitlin Clark effect in action, and here's the kicker, it has nothing to do with Reese's drama. The WNBA has never seen a player rise to this level of attention so quickly, and you'll see it all play out in Baltimore.
Official release, straight from the NBA website, man. Indiana Fever 2025 road games at Mystics moved to Baltimore. So, Angel, man, I mean, listen, y'all made a big deal 2 weeks ago about a Caitlin Clark billboard being put up in Chicago, the Windy City, the 3rd largest city in the country. Of course, they're going to have Caitlin Clark billboards. What are y'all going to do about this? Baltimore, be more careful. 2 games, oh my God.
Chicago fans got a taste of it when Caitlin Clark played there for the first time. The game was electric, packed arena, high energy, but let's be real, people weren't there to watch Angel Reese miss shots and throw fits on the court. They came to see Caitlin Clark put on a show and remind everyone why she's the biggest thing to hit the WNBA in years. The league's been waiting for a player who can draw huge crowds and bring real excitement. And no, that doesn't come from Reese's over-the-top celebrations after a SOSO performance.
But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that.
Now, Sky fans who somehow believe Angel Reese is the future of the league are starting to panic every time Caitlin Clark shows up in their city. It's a hard reality check they can't deny. Reese's supporters have spent months claiming she's the next big thing, but here's the truth, you can't be the face of the league if nobody outside your circle is paying attention. The only time Reese is trending is when she's either complaining, missing easy shots, or getting caught up in drama. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is breaking records, selling out arenas, and bringing in a whole new wave of fans to the WNBA.
There's a very thin line between hate and facts, and what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means...
And here's the funniest part. Rival teams are finally admitting what we've all known for a while. The WNBA thrives when Caitlin Clark is on the court. Before she showed up, the league was struggling to grab attention. Now, arenas are packed, TV ratings are soaring, and suddenly every team wants in on the action. Let's be honest, it's not because of Angel Reese casually putting up a double-double against weaker competition. It's because Caitlin Clark is a generational talent who makes every game an absolute must-watch.
A lot of people say that Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That is wrong. She is the needle. She dictates. We all know what she's done on the floor. It's history, right? But off the floor, my goodness, she and the Indiana Fever accounted for 45% of all the broadcast value of the WNBA last season. She accounted also for helping drive the numbers of merchandising up 500%. Of course, her jersey was number one.
Chicago fans are holding on to a false narrative, trying to convince themselves that Angel Reese is on the same level as Caitlin Clark. But let's be honest, Clark is draining logo threes like it's nothing, threading impossible passes, and delivering highlight reel moments every single game. Meanwhile, Reese is hustling, sure, but there's a huge difference between being a player who gives effort and being a true superstar. The WNBA is a business, and when it comes to who's driving ticket sales, merchandise, and TV ratings, the answer is crystal clear. It's not the player flexing after hitting a routine free throw.
Jeez. Man. Yeah, I was mad about that billboard a couple of weeks ago. The Reese's Pieces were. I mean, I just... This is going to annoy Angel. I know it is. And I know that they had to because the MCI Center, whatever, Verizon Center is under renovation. But still.
It's not just the fans who are struggling with this reality. The Chicago Sky organization is in a tough spot too. They have to market Reese as their star, but every time Caitlin Clark comes to town, she completely takes over. The packed arenas, the jersey sales, the viral highlights, it's all about Clark. Meanwhile, Reese's supporters are scrambling to find ways to justify what's happening. They claim she's great for the culture, but last time we checked, culture alone doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without.
But you know what does pay the bills? Viewership and revenue, and Caitlin Clark is delivering on both like no one else. WNBA teams are quickly catching on when they see what Clark is doing for Indiana. Now, everyone wants a piece of the action. The league has never seen this level of national attention before, and let's be honest, it's not because Angel Reese is grabbing rebounds. Clark's presence alone turns regular season games into primetime events. She's turning casual viewers into loyal fans, while Reese's supporters are left watching another harsh reminder that their favorite isn't the main attraction.
So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I've tried to give myself a little bit of grace.
And let's talk about the excuses, because oh boy, there's always a new one when Reese struggles. First, it's that she's young. Then it's that she needs more time. Then it's that she's still adjusting. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is getting triple teamed, hacked on every possession, and still putting up elite numbers. It's funny how one player constantly gets a pass, while the other just keeps proving night after night why she's the biggest thing to happen to the WNBA in years.
The preseason game, Brazil versus the preseason game against the Brazilian national team sold out in 36 minutes, 15,000 fans. There's tickets for that game, upwards of $4,500.
Reese's fans are spiraling, and honestly, it's pretty hilarious. They keep asking, why isn't Angel getting the same treatment? Why aren't teams bending over backward for her too? The simple answer is, she's not Caitlin Clark. Clark is selling out 10,000-seat arenas in minutes. Every city she plays in becomes a marquee event. The Fever's ticket sales are through the roof, and opposing teams are actually moving games to bigger venues just to meet the overwhelming demand to see her play. Meanwhile, Reese's fans are left wondering, where's our sold-out stadium?
I mean, all over. A lot of these tickets are crazy. But I'm just it's not even about the price for me. I'm just thinking about I'm comparing the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky, because they said that it was Me Too. You guys are watching women's basketball because of Me Too. I mean, bro, everybody could get into this. Literally everybody could get into this game.
Reality check: nobody's moving games for Angel Reese. Nobody's scrambling to find bigger venues because the demand is off the charts. The unrivaled league experiment already proved that when Clark isn't on the court, the excitement just isn't the same. Reese's fans keep waiting for the world to treat her like basketball royalty, but the truth is clear, there are levels to this. Clark's impact is real, measurable, and unstoppable, while Reese is stuck playing the loudest voice in the room, demanding respect she hasn't earned yet. Fans aren't rushing to buy tickets to see Reese, and franchises aren't expanding arenas just to get a chance to watch her play. And that's the difference.
Angel Reese may be playing in the league, but who wants to see a goofy 6'6" woman miss layups? Not I.
Sheila Johnson, owner of the Washington Mystics, really thought she made a statement with that speech about Caitlin Clark. She stood there, preaching about how the media needs to spread the attention around and how the league shouldn't focus solely on Clark, acting like she was championing the underappreciated stars of the WNBA. Fast forward a few weeks, and suddenly her team is moving games to a bigger arena. Why? Because of Caitlin Clark. So, let's get this straight. When it fits the agenda, Clark is just another player, nothing too special, right? But when ticket sales start rolling in, suddenly she's the biggest thing to ever happen to the Mystics. The contradiction is wild. If this was really about boosting all WNBA players, why weren't they moving games before?
So the Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson goes on CNN and says that the entire WNBA should have been put on the cover of Time magazine. It is hard to get away from this conversation because it just keeps making national news. And to be frank, I've never seen a story in the WNBA get as much widespread coverage as this is getting. I honestly can't wait until the season's back in so we can get more about basketball talk. But back to this.
So last night we read Time magazine where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they have put the whole WNBA on that cover and said the WNBA is the league of the year because of all the talent that we have? Because when you just keep singling out one player, it creates hard feelings.
Why weren't they selling out games before? Oh, that's right, because Angel Reese and the rest weren't drawing crowds like this. Sheila, 1 minute you're giving lectures about giving other players their due, and the next, you're counting up Caitlin Clark's ticket profits like you just hit the jackpot in Vegas. The hypocrisy is off the charts. If the WNBA had $1 for every time someone tried to downplay Caitlin while secretly benefiting from her, this league would be raking in NBA-level revenue by now. It's the same cycle every time. They refuse to give Clark credit, yet she's the reason arenas are filling up, why casual fans are tuning in, and why the league is seeing record-breaking interest. And now, the same people who roll their eyes at her hype are completely reshaping their entire business model just to get a piece of it.
But I've got a theory that Sheila Johnson is trying to do two things here. Number one, she's trying to screw Indiana Fever fans and Caitlin Clark fans. 6,000 less tickets available. Number two, while lining her pockets even more. Now, you might be like, well, Rhodes, I don't get it. Well, it's simple. Less tickets means the gate prices, all right? The gate prices for the game will actually go up. In other words, just like that preseason game, they has got tickets for $4,500. A run-of-the-mill game like this, even we all know Caitlin Clark tickets are expensive.
So let's call it what it is. Sheila, you're not fooling anyone. You can talk all you want about spreading attention to other players, but at the end of the day, you know exactly who the real draw is. That's why your team is relocating games and chasing this revenue wave. Caitlin Clark isn't just a trending topic, she's the future. Keep denying it if you want, but don't stop cashing those checks while you do. Clark's impact is so undeniable that she just sold out her first Indiana Fever preseason game against Brazil in less than an hour. And yet, there are still people scratching their heads, wondering why she gets all the attention. Do they need a full PowerPoint presentation? This isn't complicated. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, and the demand for her is off the charts. Fans didn't just buy tickets, they crashed the ticketing system. Meanwhile, other WNBA players are practically begging for people to come to their games like they're hosting a free neighborhood barbecue.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle. And if you need any more proof of that, the Indiana Fever exhibition game sold out in just about 30 minutes.
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
There's some hundreds in there. Don't play with them. There's some hundreds in there. Do not play with the Chicago Sky. There are hundreds in there. You see this? Okay. Oh, here goes the Indiana Fever. Wow.
It's a big situation again. Like Caitlin Clark selling out Iowa, sold out a preseason game. People saying it sold out in 40 minutes. This is within 20 minutes. Like, obviously, you couldn't get onto the damn website. It's sold out. You could have been trying to refreshing the page and not got tickets. Most of the time, it officially sold out in 40 minutes, but like realistically, it almost crashed the website.